It's a very unpleasant feeling and experience that you just never forget. It's just something you never expect, but you will never ever forget it.
The way that I had viewed myself, as long as I can remember, was always broken or damaged. Because I had these challenges, because I had severe anxiety and depression and lots of other challenges in my life, that I had deviated from the expectations of me, and I was not capable of fitting into what society was made for.
Well, for Katrina, we were terrified. I was in denial, and once we relocated here to Houston, we got right into another storm, Rita. Hurricane Rita came right after we got into temporary housing, and that was scary because I was terrified it was about to happen all over again. And then last year in October with Harvey, that was even more scary. We were terrified. Every day I just prayed the rain would stop.
I'm a sexual violence survivor, and as a survivor, I have had trauma negatively impact my social life, my professional life, my work, the things that I'm passionate about.
My child was very neglected and abused. My son, for the first 4.5 years of his life, he didn't have a place to live and couldn't plan on food, couch surfed, lived on the streets. When my daughter was born, I would say that would be another example. It started out in utero, I'm sure, up to when she actually was born. She was born addicted to cocaine, so substance exposed. And then the traumas that came afterwards, which were the withdrawals.
Well, before Houston, my son had been diagnosed with bipolar and ADHD. As I learned later, children with ADHD don't adjust to change as well as anyone else who doesn't have ADHD.
Going through emotional trauma has definitely, worsened my anxiety. I've always had anxiety, but it did have a huge impact on my anxiety and my depression. But with that, I also learned my true strength. I learned what I can persevere through. I learned that when it really comes to it, I know how to provide for myself.
He loved books, so that became a huge focus in teaching him how to speak clearly, but having a conversation or social interaction with somebody he was unable to do.
When you live in a world where there's so much stigma and where there are so many expectations to fit into a norm of how to act and how to feel. Even though I was 5 years old when I was first diagnosed with mental illness, I had internalized so much stigma around me.
I work now at the state level. I have a family voice. I also have the experience and the know-how and the understanding of how policies work. I feel very fortunate that where I work, they really understand and embrace my perspective.